I remember putting that information on our YouTube channel. The whole debate, did Kurt ghostwrite the album?
Lordy. Yeah.
And it got downvoted to oblivion.
Right.
Because I suggested that Kurt Cobain did not ghostwrite the album. And people weren't happy about that, I guess. And
again, Nevermind sounds more like Pretty on the Inside than Live Through This sounds like Bleach. Yeah. And both of those albums were written before they met the other one. So do with that information what you will. Listen, if you have two prolific songwriters in the house together, they're obviously going to play off each other and they're going to influence each other. It's what they do.
Yeah.
So, and if somebody is sitting in their kitchen, strumming on their guitar, trying to work through something in their head, it's not outside the realm of possibility for another musician in the house to go, hey, that sounds good. Why don't you, tune that up to, whatever, or how about that if you're stuck on that lyric,
put it this way.
Put it this way. That's just what you do. Yeah. I mean, it's natural. So to say that he absolutely never had anything to do is that's
asinine.
It's asinine because we're not saying that. But again, Nevermind, Heart, In Utero especially, sounds way more like Live Through This than Live Through This sounds like Bleach or anything like that was done before they met. Do with that what you will.
Well, I'll say it. When they were together, it sounds like he was more influenced by her than she was influenced by him.
Yes.
That's
at
what
least,
you're trying to say.
At least musically.
Yeah. So, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No. It's what you do.
Here's the thing, right? In Utero, because okay, look. It's hard to talk about Courtney Love without talking about Kurt Cobain, right? We've discussed this in the Oasis episodes and the Blur episodes. It's hard to talk about one in 95 and 96 without the other, right? Mm-hmm. So it's really, really hard to put that aside, but at the same time, in my opinion, In Utero was not a good album. And it was designed that way, right? It's not like,
Kurt was tired.
Kurt was tired, and, some of the songs he wrote for that album were...
Right.
I don't want to say going through the motions, but here's a song for a song's sake. It's not that great, but oh well. Now, it did have some really, really good stuff on there. Right. I'm not saying it's all terrible, right? But, that was a punk album.
Well, and then again, if you want to add another layer to it, I don't know who all has seen Montage of Heck, which is the documentary that Francis put together. That encapsulated interviews and home movies and all this stuff about Kurt's life. There's a lot of home movies of Kurt and Courtney from back in the day, right? Which are a little disturbing. And then you're like, who took all those? I mean, there's like, they're just acting like nobody else is in the house. Who took all those things?
Yeah.
Well, it was Eric. Eric was staying with them at the time.
Yeah.
So you've got another musician in the house.
So
it's all, I mean, and so you may want to say, well, Courtney never had any influence on Kurt. Okay, fine. We'll play devil's advocate. Okay. If it wasn't Courtney, it was Eric.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like whatever. You had three musicians because Eric was there long enough or around enough. He made lots of home movies of Kurt and Courtney.
Yeah.
So
that's that's the thing, right? And Kurt Cobain is rightly lauded as a musical genius, right? Mm-hmm. Nevermind is a great album, and when he put his mind to it, when he wasn't writing radio-friendly unit shifters, mm-hmm. right? When he actually put effort into the songs and were not trying to, he was a master songwriter.
Yes,
and he was a very, very good player. I don't buy the whole he's one of the greatest guitarists of all time. He had a similar amount of talent to somebody like, Graham Coxon, right, who was never in these lists. Does Graham Coxon deserve to be in these lists? Possibly. But, he's a mid-level talent, right? In terms of guitar playing. Mm. He's not a Slash, right?
Right. But he wasn't trying to be either.
No, he wasn't trying to be either. So he's rightly lauded as that, right?
Right.
And even the whole in the industry had a bigger buzz about them, you know, they were always seen as, oh, that's Kurt's wife. She's just riding on his coattails, even though they had...
Which is such BS.
Yeah. People have changed the narrative on that. And look, I'm not saying Courtney Love is a saint, right? There's reasons why...
Oh, God, no.
There's reasons why she has certain relationships with people and doesn't have relationships with other people, right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm not trying to glorify everything that she did, right? But at least in her career, she was never taken as seriously as maybe she should have been after the death of Kurt Cobain.
Right.
She is just as good of a songwriter as he was.
Yes.
She's just as good as a musician as he was.
Yes. Absolutely.
So, you know, it's that's one thing. That's what I was going to say earlier. That's one part I don't want to say feel sorry for her in a diddums kind of way, right? But I do kind of feel for her in the sense that she doesn't get the credit that she deserves.
That's a shadow she's never been able to get out from underneath.
And she never will get out of it. Mm-mm. You know?